Scanning opponents. Hyper-evolved children. Entering battle mode.
Oh, keep your shirt on. We aren't taking you on today. We came to give you a warning.
Explain.
You've altered the timeline to try and wipe us out, but you won't succeed. It's impossible. You won't be able to beat Arion and his team.
Your analysis is flawed. Our victory is guaranteed with 100% certainty. It is only a matter of time before the timeline is revised.
Oh yeah? I think you've underestimated them, my friend.
I don't believe you came here just to say that. What are you gonna do? Wipe us out?
Not today, Pops. Actually, you're pretty wide of the mark. We were hoping we could find a way to coexist. We've got a proposal for you. Hear us out.
I'm listening.
Oh, more like an offer you can't refuse.
Chapter 9. Knights of the Round Fable.
So, why do you think Perfect Cascade forfeited the match? Well, it didn't look like we scared them off with our football. They were loads stronger than us. In fact, they said they still had power in reserve. My guess is that something happened in their time 200 years from now. That seems the most likely explanation. It must have been pretty urgent. What do you think it was? That's as much of a mystery to me as it is to you.
Well, one thing's for certain. We aren't going to figure it out by standing here and worrying. We need to focus on the next match.
He's right. We're going to have to take on Perfect Cascade again, and we've got no choice but to beat them. Ricardo and Bylong are really taking charge, but I'm supposed to be the captain. It's my job as captain to get them fired up. If I can't do that myself, we're in trouble. Are you okay, Arion? You look a bit out of it. What? No, I'm fine. Okay, well if something's up, you know you can always talk to me about it. Well, actually, what do you think a captain is for? A captain? That's a tough question. Let me think about it. Guys, time for a meeting. Sorry for springing such a weird question on you. Forget it. Come on, let's go to the meeting. I hope he's okay.
Good to see you all. Without further ado, let's hear about our next target. Please enlighten us, Mr. Evans. Right. The ninth power. A fantasy sweeper who, although a ferocious monster, is blessed with vast wisdom and intelligence. And the 10th, a midfield monarch with immovable courage and unshakable power, who unites the nation. In my mind, two eminent figures in particular fit the bill perfectly. The Queen of Dragons and King Arthur.
But... seriously?
It's no joke. When I was in hospital in Tonghana, there was a lad in the next room, and he had a picture book. It was a storybook all about the old Arthurian legend. I read it all the way through. Stirring stuff it was.
As it happens, I have that book right here. King Arthur and the Knight's Apprentice. The tale begins with an apprentice arriving in a village near Arthur's castle, with nothing but his dream to become a Knight of the Round Table.
Yeah, I think you'll need some level of skill to be a knight.
Interessant. Is that another apprentice with him?
That's right. He's hoping to become a Knight of the Round Table too. They made friends on the journey to the village.
Is that King Arthur?
The man himself. And those are his Knights of the Round Table by his side. The apprentices have to fight with them first to prove they're worthy of joining, sort of like the football trial you had.
Ah, could that be the Queen of Dragons?
That's her. The Black Knight bewitched her and put her under his yoke, then rode on her back to the castle and snatched away the princess.
And that's where it really starts to heat up. King Arthur took on the Queen of Dragons. It was a heck of a showdown. Thor liked that story. Set Thor's heart on fire. Wah! Ha, a man after my own heart. Now, King Arthur had incredible charisma, so he was able to bring together a group of elite knights. And the Queen of Dragons possessed an otherworldly wisdom, beyond that of a mortal human. Yes, both of them were truly amazing.
So, do you mean that you chose these fairy tale characters for the Ultimate 11 team?
That's right, lad, and nothing else even comes close.
Do I have to be the one to say it? We can't time jump to something that's make-believe. It's impossible.
Ho-ho-ho! Not necessarily.
Mish, don't scare me like that.
There may be, well, such things in parallel worlds. In other words, beyond time, there might be a place where fantasy is reality. If we can find a suitable artifact in this world, then we might just be able to find a way over to those realms that exist outside our history.
You mean, if we find something to connect us with King Arthur, we can time jump straight into a fairy tale?
Ho! Just as you say, Rosie.
Really? Wow!
But, Dr. Cryptix, no one knows for sure if King Arthur was even a real person. How are we going to find an artifact for him?
He's got a point. There might not even be an artifact.
I might be able to help with that.
Really?
I've got this uncle, and he's super rich. He's a big antiques collector, so he's got King Arthur's crown. Amazing, right?
What, his actual crown?
The genuine article. I'll just pop over and borrow it off him. You guys go and wait for me at the bus.
Bye then. Okay, everyone, let's head to the TM bus.
What? Where did your cross-stitch go?
That's the doctor for you. Here 1 minute, gone the next.
Is it worth introducing myself now that we're nearly 8 minutes into the video? I don't think it is, so let's just carry on. Yes, we are somehow going to the world of Arthurian legend, which may not have even existed. Supposedly the kind of vibe from the story is that it takes place in England, or at least something very similar to it, so this is essentially our UK chapter, if indeed we can get there, because, like it was said, it's a work of fiction. How are we supposed to time travel to fiction? The idea coming from Dr. Cryptix is that there might be a similar enough parallel world out there to make it happen, but if that's true, then, you know, why don't the people of the future just say goodbye to this time reality and go pick a different one to go in? I mean, the possibilities are endless. I could, I don't know, put in an artifact of a bit of a robot and go back to the world where Robot Wars was still on TV. Well, that got a bit dark for me. Close the inner link and just get straight to the bus, because I'm already a suitable level. No grinding, 5 me. Okay, let's wait for Goldie to get here. Hey guys, here's the crown. Wow, but what if it's not actually King Arthur's crown?
Right, looks like a fake to me.
Wish you, it's the real thing. It got passed down from father to son by King Arthur's descendants.
Seems we've got no choice but to trust Goldie's uncle. Let's just use it as an artifact and see where it takes us.
That's all very well, but what if something goes wrong?
Yeah, just that's the best way to get past Eugene's conversation.
Goldie? What is it, Faye? Sorry, but I'm not sure I buy that story about your rich uncle. Oh, you figured me out, smarty pants. It was a little bit of a fib. But why? That's the thing I can't work out. It's a big secret, you'll know soon enough, but I can't let the cat out of the bag just yet. Just try to forget about it for now. Just concentrate on our next adventure in King Arthur's realm, shall we?
Sure, don't worry about it. Don't actually have big rich uncle. But we can go to Camelot, some very good video game developers. They are the reason that I got interested in the Inazuma 11 series in the first place, because they made Mario Power Tennis on the GBA. I wonder if this artifact can really take us into a fantasy world.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Time to get going. To King Arthur's realm. Excelsior!
Travelling through time into a fairy tale is pretty crazy, even for us.
Hey, I should have asked earlier. Does this story have a happy ending? The young apprentice defeats the Black Knight and is dubbed a knight by King Arthur.
That's a relief. What kind of person was the apprentice?
What's happening?
I'm afraid I don't know, children. The boss's instruments seem to have gone stark raving mad.
Maybe this is what happens when you try and time jump with a dodgy artifact. We don't even know if that's the real deal or not.
Hey, it really is King Arthur's crown, okay?
Wonderbot, are we going to make it?
I'm not sure.
Everyone keep calm.
It's no good. I can't control it.
Ah!
Open your eyes if you can. Prithee, young squire, awake. What? Where? What happened? Where am I? This is my house, young squire. You fell by the wayside right in front of it. All I remember is the TM bus starting to shake during the time jump. My name is Lunette. By what name should I call you, squire? I'm Arion, Arion Sherwind. Thank you for helping me, Lunette. Actually, I came here with some friends. You wouldn't have heard anything about them by any chance. Friends? No, forgive me. You were alone apart from a strange little bear. Bear?
Wonderbot!
There's certainly an awful lot to be said for a well-timed nap. Oh, Arion, good morning.
Wonderbot, am I glad to see you. Look at this house. It's just like the house in that storybook. And that girl.
Good gravy. And we can take it as a given that the time jump was a success. We've made it into a realm where King Arthur really exists.
It looks that way. But what about everyone else? I hope they're okay.
I dare say that they've been plonked down somewhere in this world too. We must find them and regroup.
You're right. But first, I just want to ask Lunette here a few things. Like, why do you sound so much like Gemma from Dragon Quest XI by any chance? I don't know, the first line sounded really like Gemma from Dragon Quest XI. One of the best voice-acted characters of all time. That voice alone made me fall in love with the Dragon Quest XI demo. But then, yeah, it started to take a little bit more of a Katsu approach after that. Thanks for rescuing Wonderbot, Lunette. Why, it has no trouble. My mother and father always taught me to offer kindness and sanctuary to travellers.
Where are your mother and father right now?
Oh, they'll be toiling in the fields. Thanks to King Arthur and the Queen of Dragons, there's going to be a muckle goodly harvest this year.
The Queen of Dragons?
Why, 'tis she who brings down the rains and tells us which seeds to sow. She is a mighty blessing for this land.
Well, I think this confirms that we've arrived in a fantasy realm. Splendid!
Perhaps you should make haste, young squire, if it please you.
Who, me?
Forsooth, I spoke not to the bear. The knight's trial will be starting soon. Tarry not.
Where is the knight's trial?
Why, it is in His Majesty's castle, of course. You surely hope to join His Majesty at the Round Table.
No, I mean, not really.
It's all starting to make sense. Our time jump created the parallel world that we find ourselves in now. And not only that, but the timeline has somehow swapped the characters in the picture book with us. Fascinating!
You mean...
You've become the hero of the storybook. You're the apprentice knight.
What? That's crazy!
It is crazy, but nevertheless, I expect you're going to have to present yourself to the king and take the knight's trial. Then, I must be the apprentice knight's companion! Yes! A second noble-hearted apprentice! At last, a fitting role for me!
I may only be a peasant, but I'm sure it's a fine and lofty thing to be a knight. You oughtn't tarry. The castle is in the north of the village. Go!
Indeed! Come on, Arion, let's go! We have an appointment with destiny!
That we do. So as soon as she was done with her voice-acted lines and went back to the stuff that I have to read, she became much more dialect-heavy. She took several years into the past after that. Wasn't quite prepared for the words that were coming my way, nor was I really prepared to give her a voice at all. But this is a nice little experience for me because I have done no research on this chapter going into the recording of these videos. I have not touched, played, or watched the anime of the King Arthur chapter of this game since I first played it in 2015. So, or was it 2016? No, it was 2015. It's been that long since the last English language Inazuma 11 game. Oh, that hurts. But, yeah, so I have not played this chapter in about 4 or 5 years. Oh, they got Will-o'-the-Wisp shot. So I'm kind of letting myself go into this one blindly to remind myself what happens as it goes along with you guys. I wouldn't exactly call it blind or anything. And, you know, it's not exactly hard to figure out what to do in an Inazuma 11 game unless you're finding the Inazuma veterans or finding the answer to the puzzle in the Argentinian camp for whatever reason we had to be in there for. Those, yes, you can tell I've looked at my viewing figures, can't you? That, Occult, and all the other, and final bosses generally. Those are the ones that people need the most in terms of the main game that people need assistance with in playing through the game. Obviously, it's all the post-game stuff that people need the most help with.
Arion! Faye! Glad to see you made it in one piece. Wonderbot, this place is...
Yes, it's King Arthur's realm, just like in the storybook. We've been inserted into King Arthur's realm as chivalrous apprentice knights. Are you not impressed?
Ah, I get it. So, Arion is the main character.
That's right, and I'm the apprentice knight's companion, equal in valor and ambition.
I hate to say it, but I think you might be wrong about that. Remember what was in the book? We're wearing matching clothes. I think I'm the other apprentice knight.
So that makes me the apprentice knight's servant? No. Ugh.
Hey, come on, Wonderbot. It's not so bad. It's fun to be a character in a storybook, no matter what part you're playing, right? But what are we supposed to do now? Well, the central character in a story usually has some kind of mission to accomplish. There's probably something that you're supposed to do in this realm, Arion. Like what? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, the knight's trial is just about to start. Let's get to the castle.
That was a very meta thing to say. Usually the hero in a story has something that they have to accomplish or achieve. Well, doesn't that basically suggest...
Mr. Arion, you need to advance with the game. You need to get TaleOfTheToaster to drive you to a different part of the map and find out what happens in King Arthur's castle itself. So we've got another one of these really zoomed out overworlds, much like the Dinosaur Realm and Greater France, but this time we're just running around it freehand and
we have already reached our kind of goal. There is stuff to the top right, like a pal packing thing, but we have to go there anyway at a later point. So let's just head straight into the castle. So this is King Arthur's castle.
This is where you two will be undergoing the knight's trial, I'll wager.
If I've understood correctly, we'll need to pass this trial so that we can meet up with everyone else. That's what I guessed from the story.
Right, well let's get in there and pass. What are we waiting for? Sure thing, we've got another big castle to explore. Oh dear. Last time we went to a proper castle was back in the days of France. But now, it's a proper fictional fantasy world castle to have a look at. So first we must, rob from it, steal the castle's treasure, which is apparently a move manual for luck boost. Not a bad thing to have at all. There's no one here. Are we the only ones taking the test, I wonder?
It seems that way.
Well, it's about to start. We're counting on you to pass this.
Got it.
That must be King Arthur.
Well met. Are you the youths who aspire to my round table? You must prove yourself in the knight's trial. First, you must meet the pride of our realm. Knights of the Round Table, come hither!
We are the Knights of the Round Table. If you think you have what it takes to join us, then we will test you in open combat.
But the knights, it's Raimon.
Valiant youths, prithee your names.
Your Majesty, this is Faerun, and I'm Arion.
Verily, those are noble sounding names. There is always a place for a worthy knight at my round table. Sherwin, Rune. You will set yourselves in battle against the flower of English chivalry. My Knights of the Round Table. Show courage.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Very well. Let the trial begin. By my decree, today's trial will be football.
How come? The time jump. When the parallel world was created, it must have also inserted our concept of football into the story. So, we're going to take everyone on a football.
Prepare thyselves for the trial, would-be-knights.
Ricardo's a knight of the Round Table.
And so's everyone else there. So's Victor. Even Saw is. Ricardo, you know who we are, right? See, don't worry. We still have all our memories from the main timeline. That's a relief. It was quite a shock when I saw you all in armour. So you're the team captain, but here you're only an apprentice. How are you liking that, Arion? Something wrong? I was only teasing. No, it's nothing. Somehow we managed to jump just before the parallel world was created. That's why we're all characters in this storybook world. This is unlike anything we've seen so far. We've been individually built into the story. Pretty amazing, really. Certamente. I think for the time being we have no choice but to go with the flow and play the roles that we've been given. You mean we should try and follow the plot of the storybook? He's got a point. If we mess up the way things are supposed to be here, we could destroy the fabric of the parallel world. That sounds bad. Agreed. So we have to play out our roles here. That's the only way we're going to make it out of this world. And don't forget, we still have to gather the ultimate 11. We need the powers of the Queen of Dragons and King Arthur.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten.
Okay, well, come and tell me when you're ready to start the knight's trial. And there we go. We will be taking on the Ryman team themselves in the form of the Knights of the Round Table in front of King Arthur. We all have our set roles to play in the story. Even Dave Evans, because he sounds exactly like King Arthur. But yeah, there we go. That's a very exciting premise to get into with the next episode, when we take on our teammates with our Duplies, by the way. I didn't mention that, but the Duplies are back to help us play football with whoever we need to. Anywho, see you in the next one.